only team that won 6 games, and there's no reason why we can't get hot here and start playing our best football.
Denver is 5-0.
Starting out 5-0, everyone is on your coattails saying you're the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Touchdown! Sometimes you need a little luck.
We got on that roller coaster and it started going down.
To go a month without a win is a long time in the NFL. And
this game is very critical for us as well as for the Broncos. We have to go out and get a victory.
Take this roller coaster back up.
And that's the bottom line.
Get out on 3. 1, 2, 3, get out!
Just a spectacular night here in Denver, Colorado. 50 degrees, just a slight wind out of the west at 6 miles per hour. Clear throughout the course of the evening. The New York Giants have won the coin toss. They have elected to receive. New York Giants head coach Tom Coughlin in his 6th year with the Giants. 57 wins in total, 4 of those in the postseason. There's 33-year-old Josh McDaniels after 8 years with the New England Patriots. The youngest head coach to lead his team to a 6-0 mark. He does not want to become the first ever coach to win his first 6 and then lose his next 5. Matt Prater will kick off for the Denver Broncos, a 3rd-year kicker out of Central Florida. Eli Manning will get his first opportunity here tonight. Dominic Hickson averages 24 yards a return. He's back deep. Prater has 11 touchbacks this season. And we are underway. Good high kick that will send Hickson all the way to the back of the end zone, and the Giants will start from their own 20-yard line. Well, Giants quarterback Eli Manning had a career passing yardage game last week against the Atlanta Falcons. His 82nd consecutive start. That's the longest streak for any quarterback in the history of the New York Giants. The 3rd longest active streak in the NFL, behind his brother Peyton and, of course, Brett Favre.
And you listened to our pregame show, you heard Steve Mariucci talking about how Eli Manning, this is his team, and I agree with him. I think Eli Manning is coming to his own, and he has to prove it week in and week out, and this is a great time to show everybody.
Brandon Jacobs in a 1-back set on a 1st and 10. Manning to throw. Has Akeem Nicks, the rookie, shouldered hard out of bounds after a gain of 5. Brian Dawkins, the former Eagle, on the tackle. Brian Dawkins in his 14th year out of Clemson, a 7-time Pro Bowler. Part of that secondary for the Denver Broncos. As you take a look at their defense, all 4 players in their secondary 30 years or older. Dawkins the oldest at 36.
Well, you know, the Broncos don't have a very big defensive front, but the New York Football Giants, they need to get that offensive line back to where they were a year ago. And it's no one in particular who falters. It's just everyone breaks down every now and then. They have to be consistent, and that's a bad sign.
Eli Manning has to burn a timeout with the play clock ticking, so not even a minute into the ball game, and the Giants with a 2nd and 4 have called the timeout. It's Thanksgiving evening in Denver. So glad you can join us on NFL Network. Union Station in Denver, Colorado, after a New York Giant timeout. 2nd and 4 for the Giants in the opening possession of the game. Darcy Johnson in motion. Jacobs nowhere to go. And he'll get dropped for a loss of a yard on the play.
You know, a week ago, the New York Giants had some trouble early in the game with movement. And this is a copycat league. And so you can see right away, the Broncos, they start doing their stunting up front with their defensive line.
And Andre Davis made the play, acquired as a free agent from Cleveland. Third and 6. Steve Smith has the first down, tackled at the 32-yard line by Brian Dawkins and Ty Law. Steve Smith came into the weekend #1 in the NFL in 3rd down receptions.
You know, we talked in the pregame, you and I, and we talked about this secondary, but also going against a young receiving corps. I think this is the best receiving corps the Giants have had, maybe as long as I can remember, in the last probably 30 years of football, of New York Giant football. I think this is the best that has the most potential.
From the New York 32. Davis shows blitz, backs out for Denver. Brandon Jacobs upended by Dawkins after a gain of about 3.
Now you talk about a warrior right there. You take a good look at Brian Dawkins. Now he knows the New York Giants. He played against them with Philadelphia twice a year for years. Just a joy for me to watch him not only playing here, but in practice. He has the right attitude, the right approach. He's played the game already probably 100 times in his mind, and he's set for this one.
Held a team meeting earlier this week to try to get this team back on course. Josh McDaniels said, I have no problem with it.
See up here, they're taking him out.
Put Darcy Johnson to the top of your screen. Manning with time, nearly intercepted by Andre Goodman. Goodman has 2 interceptions on the season.
And should have had a third. And that one's on the hands of Andre Goodman. Time to throw. He's able to step in, steps up in the pocket, and uses it well. And then Andre Goodman he's got to hold on to that. That's what he's looking. He's throwing to his spot, and he just overthrows. Goodman should have had it.
Look at Steve Smith.
Yep.
Goodman in his 8th year out of South Carolina, acquired as an unrestricted free agent from Miami. 3rd and 7.
Yeah, they're walking around at the line of scrimmage.
Manning's pass will be short to Dominic Hickson, the former Bronco, tackled at the 40-yard line. Vonnie Holliday got the first hit on Hickson. So the Giants, after a first down, will punt.
You see how the Broncos were everybody standing around at the line of scrimmage, and what that does is it creates a problem because you don't know who's going to come. It's kind of an amoeba, and they kind of talk about that up there, and they want to know who are the guys coming, and you can't really identify them. Advantage Broncos.
43-year-old Jeff Fiegels punts to 23-year-old Eddie Royal. Royal fields it at the 12 and gets tackled by Derek Hagan at the 15-yard line. Broncos will get their first offensive possession after this. Eli Manning conferring with offensive coordinator Kevin Gilbride, who's holding the pictures, along with tight ends coach Mike Pope and backup quarterback David Carr.
And one of the things they're looking at is that last formation, because the offensive line and the quarterback have to be on the same page for protection. With everybody standing around, it gives you time for pause.
Orton to throw on first down, under pressure, and he's sacked by Danny Clark. His 2nd sack of the season.
And that's a big play for Danny Clark, and here's why. He had Scheffler running down the middle of the field, wide open. And they're going to go with the play action. He's going to roll to the top. And Clark never goes for anything. Just comes right up the middle and gets the sack.
A loss of 10 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 20 for the Broncos. 15th sack on Orton this year. Screen for Moreno. Terrell Thomas grabs him and he gets cut down at the 10 after a gain of 6.
All right, and he spun around and cut a little more.
So it'll be 3rd and long for the Broncos. Noshawn Moreno, a New Jersey native, a rookie out of Georgia, taken 12th overall in this year's draft. Correll Buckhalter comes on for the Broncos. Brandon Stokely also checks on as an extra receiver.
This is where the New York Giants have to assert themselves. They have a pass rush, and it has to show up now.
3rd and 9. Buckhalter, flag on the play as he gets tackled at the 20-yard line by Michael Boley. We'll check the flag. Referee tonight is Tony Correnti. Tony joined us for our Thanksgiving meal last night.
Eligible member of the offense downfield prior to the pass, number 62. This penalty has been declined. 4th down.
Tom Coughlin declining the penalty. Casey Wigman called for the penalty. So the Broncos go 3 and out, pinned deep after the good punt by Fiegels, and that'll bring in Mitch Berger, who was signed on October the 26th. Broncos were unhappy with their kicking game, so they brought in the 16-year pro out of Colorado. Averaging 40.8 yards a punt. Hickson all the way back to the 23. The former Bronco knocked down at the 37-yard line. 56-yard punt, 14-yard return. Giants on their 2nd offensive possession. No score here in the 1st.
For our soldiers, who are fighting for us and protecting our country. Thank you for all your work and everything you do. But just really want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and have a wonderful day, a wonderful meal, and hopefully watch some good football.
Eli Manning played twice on Thanksgiving evening while in college at Ole Miss when he played against Mississippi State. Brandon Jacobs picks up about 2. Ryan McBean got the first hit on Jacobs before his teammates came along to help.
You know, a lot has been said about where has the Giants running game gone. And to me, immediately looked down into the offensive line because, you know, just watching the tape thing, Brandon Jacobs has been running hard and all that stuff, but it comes down to that front 5 guys. And they've got to get off the ball. And it hasn't really been one guy who's been faltering. It's been a collection of everybody kind of messing up at different times.
Hedgecock and Jacobs in the eye. Manning from Manningham, incomplete. Goodman on the coverage.
We also said about these young receivers, you have Steve Smith and Manningham, and then, boy, Hakeem Nicks, really good-looking young player. But in this game tonight, there are excellent matchups on the other side. Andre Goodman, the corner, number 21. You got number 24, Champ Bailey. And then also in the slot, 26, Ty Law. All 3 of them are excellent in man-to-man and play very good zone.
Giants hit a 3rd and 6, failed in a 3rd and 7. Now they have a 3rd and 8.
Here we go again. Everybody's standing around in here. That's that amoeba look.
Only 3 rush. Manning, middle of the field. Manningham with the catch. Lost it, ruled incomplete. Would have had the first down.
Yeah, excellent defense by Champ Bailey. Stayed with it. You rush 3, like you said, which means you have 8 guys deep. And then Champ Bailey just on top of Manningham. Manningham, once the ball in his hands, is exciting. And Champ Bailey knows that. And so he just fights that thing all the way to the end.
Jeff Eagles in his 347th consecutive game, punt for the 2nd time. Manningham dropped the potential first down pass. Eddie Royal back deep. The Eagles kicks it to the sideline, and we'll see where they mark it out. Want to keep the ball away from Eddie Royal. The objective, they'll spot it out at the 16, 45-yard punt. Mario Manningham could not haul in this 3rd down pass. On this Thanksgiving evening, a couple of Bronco and Giants fans sparring, and we say hello to the men and women at Camp Taji in Iraq, the 1st Brigade Combat Team, 1st Cavalry Division. Happy Thanksgiving. 2nd possession for the Broncos. They went 3 and out in the 1st. Buckhalter hit by Michael Johnson after a gain of about 2 or 3.
Well, there's a 20 that came to play also. That Michael Johnson, he reads us very, very well, knowing that the Broncos also need some balance and knowing how they have to be able to get a running game going to help that passing game.
It's been quite a while since they've been able to put together good, solid offensive job. Kyle Orton said, we just got to play better. Just do the little things. 2nd and 8. Orton for Jabbar Gaffney. He's got it. First down. Gaffney's 27th catch of the year, gain of 28.
Watch him on the top of your screen. He's going to come down in motion. He's going to come down, and then he's going to get back up on top. And all you're expecting is for the underneath guy to bite, which he did. And then Gaffney just gets on top in front of the safety, and he has time to see it, and a nice throw.
Corey Webster, the corner that bit. So the Broncos out to the 46. Buckhalter nearly slipped through, tripped up at the 49 of New York. Terrell Thomas and Michael Johnson on the tackle. Terrell Buckhalter knows a thing or two about going against the Giants. He's a former Philadelphia Eagle. Signed this year as an unrestricted free agent. Buckhalter averaging 5.5 yards a carry.
Always was a physical runner, always caught the ball well, was a downhill type of guy, and that's what they need. And see, they're trying to set the edge, is what they're trying to do right now. Trying to get him to the outside and soften that middle part up.
2nd and 5. Buckhalter again gets the edge, has a first down to the 42.
Well, if you're going to get the edge in this offense, the guy who's got to play well is Daniel Graham, number 89, the tight end. He's an excellent tight end. He's one of the more complete guys. You can see him right there, number 89, right there on your screen. And he just gets on you. He's one of those guys, he's like a pit bull. Once he's on you, he's hard to get off.
Got Michael Boley and kicked him out to open up the lane for Buckhalter. No Sean Moreno is checked in for Buckhalter. 1st and 10 Broncos. From the New York 41. Orton wide open, the tight end Scheffler. And he's knocked out at the 29-yard line. Gain of 13 for Tony Scheffler.
And that doesn't happen if they don't pick up the pressure on the top side. Really well done by Noshawn Moreno. And because he has the time, you can see Brandon Marshall clearing that thing out. And then Scheffler just comes back, taking care of that vacated area. Scheffler is an excellent tight end. I mean, very good in the pass game. Needs to work on his blocking, but he catches the ball well.
And again, the Giants had a lineman dropping in coverage. No match against Scheffler. 1st and 10. Noshawn Moreno inside the 25. Good block by Chris Cooper, the right guard.
And Spencer Larson, that fullback linebacker. He's a linebacker. He comes in as a fullback at times. But here's the key right now. The offensive line for the Denver Broncos, they are just getting a hat on a hat. They're not necessarily getting great push, but they're kicking their hips and they're athletically allowing a crease, and they're taking advantage of it.
After a gain of 5, Moreno again shakes a tackle inside the 20 and finally knocked out by Michael Johnson, but there's a flag on the play right where Moreno made the turn on the corner.
And there's a little bit of John going on down there. You can see with Daniel Graham and Danny Clark, 55.
Here's Bill Sheridan, the first-year defensive coordinator, spent 5 years as linebackers coach for the Giants.
Holding, offense, number 89. 10-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
There's your guy that sets the edge, Daniel Graham.
He does set the edge, but this time he sets it with his hands. Watch. Now he's going to take the hit. Hands, they're fine. Now he's going to throw him. That's where he's beat, right there. He didn't have to do that. He did set the edge properly. Moreno was able to get it, and then once he threw him, that's when the flag came. A little bit of wrestling going on. Always remember, low man wins, good leverage wins.
You love the wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
2nd and 15 for Orton. Screen for Graham with some numbers. Graham inside the 20, and he's got a Denver 1st down. Pickup of 16 on the play.
Excellent call. Nice job. They draw you in with the rush, and then they sneak you out to the top side. And watch how he draws you in. This is well done by Orton, and it's a feel. It's when the heck do you let the ball go? You take the fake to the one side, just over the reach of Tuck, and then Graham runs well and picks up the 1st.
Daniel Graham, part of a 7-play, 67-yard drive. Buckhalter to about the 13-yard line. Picks up about 4 on the play. Justin Tuck on the tackle. Well, the New York Giants are in a bad spot right now, Matt. They have the worst red zone defense in the NFL, giving up touchdowns at 74%.
Yeah, and you go back and the coaching staff, they beat their brains out trying to figure out exactly why. But inevitably, it comes down to the player. It's time to play.
2nd and 6. Moreno slips through a tackle. He's got the 1st down inside the 7. And missed tackles also a recipe there for disaster.
Now that time, Giants defensive line got off the ball and took away the point of attack. But Moreno was able to redirect and squirt out to the left side. Watch, he's going to stop right in here. This is a nice push, and it takes away the point. And then Moreno, boom, see, and now he just shifts to the other side and picks it up. That's good running with his eyes.
So the Broncos have a 1st and goal at the 7. Orton to throw to the post. It's deflected at the line, incomplete. Intended for Brandon Marshall.
There's a lot of stuff going on in there. And he wanted Brandon Marshall. He had it. He had the defender on his back hip, but he's throwing right through a bunch of backers and defensive linemen.
Michael Boley got a hand on it.
Watch him to the top side. You see Corey Webster going to work on him now. He has him right there. See, he has him exactly where he wants him on his back hip. He can shield him with his body. There's a lot of stuff in front of him.
10 plays, 77 yards on the drive. 2nd and goal. A give from Moreno. Hit and drop, no gain on the play. Aaron Rouse, picked up off waivers from Green Bay earlier this year, made the tackle.
Rouse drops down for the safety spot, and you also saw Boley in there as well.
I want to welcome those of you joining us on NFL.com. Remember, NFL Network Thursday Night Football. You can log on now to NFL.com/live for enhanced coverage of tonight's game.
A little bit of chess match going on out there.
3rd and goal for Orton and the Broncos. To the back of the end zone, intended for Marshall, incomplete. Orton felt that there was a hold on Marshall, no flag.
They had Marshall on the inside, and he's just running right down the middle. You can watch him, number 15. He sits, he's trying to get him to bite on that double move, but Boley, number 52, he doesn't bite. And not only does he not bite, he's able to extend the coverage and take it away.
Matt Prater, 15 of 19 on field goal attempts. Will try one from 26 yards out to give Denver the lead here in the first quarter. Berger to hold. Snap is good. And Matt Prater has the Broncos on the board. With 2:28 to go, Kyle Orton wanted a flag, and he has to settle for 3.
Yeah, no, give me the pretty picture. We'll make that work.
Josh McDaniels talking with Kyle Orton. The Broncos now 1 touchdown in their last 7 red zone trips. They settled for 3, and a victory for the Giants in the sense they didn't allow a red zone touchdown.
Yeah, that'll drop that down to about 73.5%.
The Prater kicked the field goal from 26 yards out, and he'll kick off to Dominic Hickson. And he'll send Hickson out of the end zone for another touchback, his 2nd of the night.
An interesting defense that they run here. Here's the key right here. That's Michael Boley. And Brandon Marshall's up top. Now, Brandon Marshall's a beast. And they are allowing Michael Boley to take away the middle of the field. That is a tough, tough job. And he comes through with flying colors.
At the conclusion of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, receiving team. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking team, number 95, with the strike to the body. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So number 95, Darrell Reed, is called for the penalty, Matt. Hickson took the fair catch, and see Reed and C.C. Brown engaged.
That looks like a regular kickoff return to me. I must have missed something.
3rd possession for the Giants. Picked up 1 first down so far from 35. Steve Smith in motion. Darcy Johnson lost the football. Live ball. And it'll roll out of bounds back at the 27-yard line. Official threw the beanbag down, so you knew it was a live ball.
And it'll be spotted right where it went out of bounds. Now, had it gone forward and gone out of bounds, they would have taken it back to the spot where it was lost. But because it goes backwards here, they'll take it back to where it goes out. Nice hit right there. A well-done job by Dawkins. And then they just can't quite get to it. Neither team can get to it on time, but Dawkins just spears the ball.
Kevin Boss pushed the Bronco out of the way.
That's a good job by Boss.
Mario Hagan was trying to recover it. 2nd and 18. Jacobs on the screen. Jacobs to the 35-yard line. Marcus Thomas, 3rd-year player out of Florida, on the tackle. Giants are without Ahmad Bradshaw, who injured an ankle last week against the Falcons. So Danny Ware, 3rd-year running back out of Georgia, will handle the rotational duties with Jacobs. 3rd and 11 for the Giants. Blitz on. Manningham incomplete. Good pressure by the Denver Broncos again.
And good coverage also. DJ Williams right there. They do bring pressure. It is blocked, but Manning lets the ball come out, and DJ Williams is all over the coverage. Again, it's guess who's going to come. Then they make you account for everybody. And you can see DJ Williams just coming from underneath on Manningham, and it's an incomplete pass.
Fiegels to punt for the 3rd time. Royal from his own 19. Slithers out of a tackle. Dominic Hickson and Danny Clark finally corral him at the 29-yard line after a 45-yard punt. Well, catch NFL Replay for exclusive re-airs of the weekend's 4 most exciting games. They have enhanced wired sound and a whole lot more non-stop action, minus the halftime. NFL Replay Tuesday and Wednesday, starting at 8 Eastern on NFL Network. Get all the behind-the-scenes stuff, the sideline chatter.
Yeah, I mean, forget that's good football, and they just run it right through, and you get all the good inside stuff.
And you almost get analysis from the post game as it's inserted during the key plays in the ball game.
Gives you good insight.
Marshall in motion, 1st and 10 Broncos. Little flea flicker. Orton from Marshall, flags on the play as he's hit by Webster, incomplete. Now another flag comes in late.
There's a little bit of a mugging going on down there. He got hit at about 10 yards down the field, which was the first flag. And the second flag, I don't know what that one's going to be.
Might be a blow to the head.
Could be. That was a 1-receiver route. It was Brandon Marshall and max protection.
The back judge, Greg Wilson, threw the first flag. So they'll sort it out with 53 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the defense. Illegal contact. Defense number 20. This penalty is declined. At the conclusion of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 23. This penalty is accepted. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
We'll accept the penalty on Corey Webster and decline the one on Michael Johnson.
Well, you can see they're going man-to-man outside. And Corey Webster's going to run with them. Now, that one is definitely a flag. And this one, I guess they're going to call that one again.
Goes right to the head.
Yeah, it goes up to the head, and they're going to call that. And that's good job by the official. But like I said, a 1-receiver route in Brandon Marshall, and they like with Corey Webster, they like that matchup.
Moreno to the 46, hit at the ankles by Terrell Thomas.
But just watching Sean Moreno right here, I go back to remember what Marshall Falk said in our pregame show. You know, if this is a #1 pick, and it's time for him to be that. And at times he's been that this season. And he's had a couple of fumbles. Last week he had the big fumble going into the end zone. But this guy has the skills and the ability to be a special back.
He's fumbled 4 times this year, lost all 4. After a gain of 2, 2nd down. Orton on the play fake. Scheffler wide open. Scheffler has a first down to the New York 45-yard line. Gain of 10 on the play.
That really was well done by Scheffler, because what Tony Scheffler, 88, did, he came out. It's a classic West Coast play. They just, everybody runs the same plays in this league. He comes back underneath, and then the backer saw him and pushed him under, but he has excellent speed, deceiving speed, actually. He's able to pick up that first.
Well, the Denver Broncos trying to snap a 4-game losing streak on Thanksgiving night against the New York Giants. They lead after 1.
And good afternoon, everybody. This is Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Norman, the XO for the 1st Brigade Combat Team from the 1st Cavalry Division here in North Baghdad, Iraq. On behalf of everyone over here in Baghdad, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. On a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy Thanksgiving! Go Broncos!
Go Broncos! Go Broncos!
A lot of Bronco fans.
Bronco fans. See the two Giant fans in the back, they couldn't take it anymore. Like, go Giants.
We start the second quarter. Broncos with a 3-0 lead. 1st and 10 at the Giants 45. Bob Pop along with Matt Millen. So glad you can join us. We're on Thursday Night Football. Orton back across the field, and it's dropped by Gaffney, who was open. He was under pressure from Dave Tollefson, but got a good pass off to Gaffney.
He did get it off, and he just dropped the ball, but they got some pressure. And here's the thing with this Giant football team. As you can see, Gaffney took his head, looked up the field, and the ball's on the ground. But when the Giants are really getting after the passer, they're getting a push on the inside. They have the edge rushers. But in this league right now, the ball comes out so fast, without a push inside, those edge rushers are negated.
Orton 6 of 9 for 84 yards. No Sean Moreno. Nifty running, and he'll get 11 and a first down.
Take a good look at No Sean Moreno. This is what Georgia fans watched for the last few years, and he's bringing his A game tonight. Look at that. Nice little Barry Sanders move there in the middle and picks up the first down.
Rocky Bernard and Matthias Kiwanuka knocked each other off the tackle.
That's what Marshall Faulk was talking about. That's the game he needs to bring.
Moreno again, cut back lane. Hit hard at the 29, but he picks up 5 on the play.
That's talking about running with your eyes. That's what that is. And what he was able to do is see the inside of that New York Football Giants just not getting any push up the field. When you play against an offense like the Broncos, when they're doing a lot of that zone blocking, what really kills it is inside pressure up the field. When you can get vertical pressure.
Corral Buckhalter. No gain on the play. Chase Blackburn got the hit. We showed you that graphic over the last 5 games. You have to go back 36 years to find the last time the Giants have given up this many points in a 5-game stretch.
Yeah.
1-4 in that stretch.
You know, Bob, just sitting there and watch the tapes the last few days of this Giant defense and talking to Bill Sheridan, their defensive coordinator. This is not a physical Giant defense, and they have always been physical.
Said it pained him to say it.
And really, where it shows up is right in here. This group, right inside.
3rd and 5. Orton's pass tipped at the line and incomplete. He was looking for Brandon Stokely, Justin Tuck. Bats away his 7th pass of the season.
You have Tuck on one side, Umanura on the other side, and the 2 inside tackles, Cofield 96 and 98 Robbins. You know, both are solid players, but for some reason this year they have not played up to their standard.
Both players had major knee surgery in the offseason. One of the reasons why the Giants wound up signing Rocky Bernard and Chris Canty. The Broncos will go for it here on 4th and 5. 2 for 10 this year. Orton out of the gun. Orton, middle of the field, wide open. Scheffler again. Inside the 10, 1st and goal Broncos.
And Scheffler can run.
Gain of 21. Wide open again for Tony Scheffler.
And they're working out of a trips package. Working out of the trips package to the right. Now watch Scheffler. He sits down. He feels Boley. That is, you don't coach that. That's all feel. As soon as he cleared Boley, he knew he was in the green. And now watch him go get the rest of it.
And Aaron Ross was in at safety. He played his first game last week coming back from injury. And he seemed a little lost as well. And Scheffler picks up 21. And Corey Webster, who's been the Giants' best defensive player this year, is down and hurt.
Lands awkwardly. I mean, that's just football.
Looked like maybe Jabbar Gaffney landed on his left knee as he came across his body. How about Josh McDaniels going for it on 4th and 5? 1st and goal, Broncos. They already lead 3-0. Zort takes the snap. Get a whistle and a flag.
Umberto.
False start. Offense, number 89. 5-yard
Daniel
penalty.
Graham call for the penalty. Yes, Matthew.
As you take a good look there, Josh McDaniels, he went for it on 4th down. So what is that saying? That is telling you that right now he feels that his defense is whipping the Giant offense and that he has supreme confidence in this offensive line to give him the time to be able to throw that ball. He thinks they're whipping him right now.
Taking a page from his mentor's book, Bill Belichick.
It's good coaching right there.
And as Orton takes the next snap, we get whistles again.
False start. Offense, number 78.
That's poor execution.
Ryan Clady, the left tackle, called for the penalty.
Just a little bit. Watch number 78 right here, Ryan Clady. Just a little bit of a movement. Okay, he looks back inside, and that's what they got him on. Clady's he's going to be one of the premier tackles if he's not there already in this league. Extremely athletic.
First and goal from the 18. Screen dropped by Buckhalter. They'll rule it a catch and a tackle at the 20-yard line.
And so now they're going backwards. Yeah, they're going backwards right here, Bob.
Now the officials are going to huddle. Did he have control of that football, though? Now it's being ruled incomplete by Tony Brenton.
It's good officiating.
And that is clearly an incomplete pass, so good job by the officials.
That was incomplete, so.
Thank
52 Linda! 52 Linda!
Giants do not blitz. Orton. Marshall tackled at the 10.
We're hearing Kyle Orton. We're getting great sound down there in the field. Kyle Orton, what he's doing, he's miking. That's called miking. You hear him, 52 Linda. He's pointing out to Michael Boley, and that's where you're going to take that protection to. Linda is to the left side. And once that's squared away, he's able to just step and throw it and find Marshall.
And some confusion there as he yelled alert. He actually called out Aaron Ross's number, who's in their dime package as the linebacker.
False start. Offense, the center, 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
That's Casey Wigman called for the penalty. So 3 false starts after having first and goal at the 8.
Listen to him at the line of scrimmage. What he's given his instruction to the offensive line and the backs inside for protection. He's calling out who you're counting as the mic.
Called out Michael Boley to the end zone. Nobody there on the post looking for Tony Scheffler. So a disjointed first and goal at the 8. 3 penalties. And a field goal attempt coming up for the Broncos.
Here's 52 Linda. He's taking 52. That's who you have to be aware of. And then Linda, they're going to the left side with that center over and the back staying in. That's telling everybody exactly how you're going to protect it. And he makes the call at the line of scrimmage.
Prater will try from 32. So again, the Giants able to hold the Broncos to an attempt of 3. Prater knocks it through. And with 10:46 to go in the second quarter, the Denver Broncos have a pair of field goals and they lead the Giants here in the second. Beautiful Thanksgiving evening here in Denver, but not happy times for head coach Josh McDaniels.
All we're trying to do is win a motherfucking game.
Josh McDaniels pretty livid at his ball club. Prater with the kickoff. Dominic kicks in, and for the 3rd time, it'll be a touchback on a kickoff. Denver Broncos lead the Giants 6-0 here in the second. The Josh McDaniels audio there as the Giants will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
See right here, you got Beatty in there, number 65, an extra lineman.
Danny Ware.
All right, let him up.
Picks up about 3 on the play. Danny Ware, in his 3rd year out of Georgia, asked to be called DJ Ware because his father is Danny and wants to pay tribute to his father in Cedartown, Georgia. When he went to the University of Georgia, they already had DJ Shockley, so they called him Danny, but he's always been known as DJ. Kind of pay tribute to his dad.
All right,
watching back home.
DJ. That was
Called
easy.
DJ. Now, Darcy Johnson suffered an injured shoulder. He went in for x-rays. That's why Beatty was in. Ware hit at the 25 by Brian Dawkins. Giants have not been able to get the running game going. Brandon Jacobs, 3 carries for 3 yards so far.
That's unacceptable, and that's unacceptable for Brandon Jacobs with the kind of skills and ability he has, but also for this offensive line.
Giants with just 26 yards of offense. 3rd and 5. This is their shortest 3rd down attempt of the night. They're 1 for 4 overall. Manning with a flag on the play, tipped at the line, incomplete. That'll be defensive offsides as he got the free play. DJ Williams right in the middle, looked like he jumped.
Offside, defense number 55. This 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
So it's the Giants' first down since the opening possession of the ballgame.
Josh McDaniels is he's pretty fired up right now. And you know, as a player, you like the enthusiasm, and you like the fact that he gets after you. And now it's on you. You take that out onto the field.
Ware in a tailback. Play clock down to 3. Danny Ware.
Ball.
Hit by Higgins, lost the ball. And now the fight begins at the 37, Denver football. Mario Hagan forced the fumble, and Tom Coughlin's Giants have coughed it up. Brian Dawkins on the recovery. All Broncos here in the first half.
Buy or be happy.
Great look at the Capitol building here in Denver, Colorado. The Broncos have forced their first turnover in the last 3 games. Mario Hagan forced it. Brian Dawkins recovered it. 1st and 10 Broncos at the Giants 38. They lead by 6 here in the second. Orton with time for Brandon Marshall. What a catch by Marshall. Gain of 28.
You heard Deion Sanders talking about him. Brandon Marshall, number 15, working against Corey Webster, gets to the top side. Now the ball is thrown purposely behind, but it doesn't matter. Watch this. That's as beautiful a catch as you're going to see.
And again, the Broncos have 1st and goal. They've had to settle for 2 field goals. Moreno. No gain on the play. Chase Blackburn on the tackle. How good a play was that by Brandon Marshall? At 6'4", he made himself about 6'10" with that leap.
Yeah. Deion Sanders called him a nightmare, and here's why. You can do everything right sometimes and still be wrong. Tell me he's not fired up for that coach. Coach is fired up as well. Oh, but by the way, here's the next play.
Hey, Tampa.
Kyle Orton has thrown for 143 yards.
41's the mic. 41's the mic. 180. What is up?
Calls out C.C. Brown as the mic. Moreno. Knocked down just inside the 2.
Okay, so if you're sitting at home, you're saying, what is the big deal about calling out the mic? The mic is the 5th guy that you are counting in your protection. So the offensive line has the 4 guys down, plus whoever he picks out. That's the mic. He said 41, that's C.C. Brown. They called him out the last time.
Third and goal, Moreno. Touchdown, Broncos. Sean Moreno's third rushing touchdown of the year. Ran through a couple tackles, and the Broncos have widened their lead to 12 with an extra point pending after the Danny Ware fumble. Prater on for the extra point. And Prater knocks it through, and with 7:17 to go here in the half, the Broncos up now 13-0. Brian Dawkins recovered the fumble, setting up the Sean Moreno run. A spectacular catch by Brandon Marshall set the Broncos up, and on 3rd and goal for 1, Sean Moreno punched it in for a 1-yard touchdown. The Broncos lead the Giants 13-0 with 7:17 to go here in the first half. All 3 of Prater's kickoffs have gone for touchbacks. Hickson will get a chance here from a yard deep. Knocked down at the 20-yard line. Well, the NFL Combine is much-watched TV. It's guys like Sean Moreno and Akeem Nicks sport their wares. February 24th through March 2nd. The NFL Combine here on NFL Network. And Matt, it is a great watch to see these prospects coming out.
All of you fans out there who want to go to the Combine, that's your ticket in. I know a few GMs and a couple owners I know who don't go anymore. They watch the channel because they think they get better coverage there than they do from going from venue to venue.
And it's exclusive to NFL Network. Eli Manning trying to get something going. He'll get sacked by TJ Williams.
He should turn around and kiss his coverage because they're all over him. Watch, just locked up man-to-man, nowhere to go. Champ Bailey's all over him. Look on the bottom, Andre Goodman, number 21 on top of it. Nowhere to go with the ball, and you get the big sack. He had time. Williams had a sack.
Loss of 9. Giants' longest offensive play tonight, 8 yards. At the feet of Jacobs, incomplete. Wesley Woodyard with the hit. In the Giants' last 11 offensive plays, they've amassed a total of 10 yards.
They're inept right now. They have been getting their rear ends kicked on both sides of the ball. And to be perfectly frank with you, I'm shocked. This is not a big defense for the Denver Broncos, but they are playing like giants.
Defensive coordinator Mike Nolan done a great job. Late blitz with Goodman. Manning tries to throw it away, and it's incomplete. Nearly a safety for Goodman.
Andre Goodman coming off the corner, going right into his face. Everything's picked up. He's going to come clean. You're going to watch him. Right here, he comes in. Now watch. Eli Manning sees him and has the presence and has the strength to be able to stay up, and is able to throw this thing down.
Manning was pointing for somebody to just make yourself available. Fiegels. Royal after a 54-yard punt. Royal to the 49-yard line, hit by Blackburn and Keel. There's a look at Mike Nolan in his first year as defensive coordinator after 3.5 years as head coach of the Niners. Former defensive coordinator for the Giants, the Jets. Also spent time with the Ravens. Aerial camp presented by Southwest Airlines.
Isn't that a gorgeous shot? That's as beautiful as the Denver Bronco defense has been tonight. And Mike Nolan knows he has him humming right now. He's given them different looks. They haven't been able to pick him up, but his coverage downfield has been impeccable.
On a 1st and 10, Buckhalter picks up 3 to the Giant 48-yard line.
Here's Mike Nolan. former head coach of the San Francisco 49ers, just talking to him the other day. Here's what he loves. He says, hey, I love coaching football. Sometimes when you're a head coach, you don't do any football. You do a lot of other things, and you never get to the stuff that you love, and this is what he loves.
Started his career here in Denver on Dan Reeves' staff, spent 6 years here before going to New York with Reeves to be the defensive coordinator. 2nd and 8. Orton with time. Jabbar Gaffney hit by Webster. Flag on the play. It's a first down. And a face mask coming up on Webster.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Defense number 23. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Gain of 8, tack on 15 more. So a net of 23.
Watches at the end. Here's Corey Webster. He just gets his hand. Actually, it looked like he grabbed the top of his helmet, but it's in the face mask, and they're going to call that. But more impressive than the receivers versus these defensive backs, the Denver offensive line has completely negated any kind of New York pass rush.
Graham in motion. Buckhalter stood up and driven back by Chase Blackburn, who's starting for the injured Antonio Pierce for the 2nd consecutive week. Pierce with a bulging disc in his neck. He's out indefinitely. So a loss of about 3 on the play. I'll tell you, Matt, Denver right now is dictating all the terms on both sides of the ball, and it gets back to that line of scrimmage. And the Giants' defensive tackles getting no push on passing situations and not able to contain the run. That time Blackburn did. Webster, who suffered a bruised knee earlier, back in the game. Orton hit as he throws, and the pass incomplete, intended for Scheffler.
Well, he's not going to like that when he goes back and look at that. He has a receiver wide open underneath, and because he got the pressure, he tries to hit Scheffler on the top.
O.C. Umenyiora got the pressure. Quiet year for Umenyiora. He has just 5 sacks, a 2-time Pro Bowler.
And Buckhalter is wide open down in the left flat. But because of the pressure, he forces it to Scheffler.
So the Broncos with a 3rd and 13. This is their longest 3rd down attempt of the ball game. They're 1 for 5 overall. Brandon Marshall cut down at the 29 by Terrell Thomas. No gain on the play.
That's well done there by Terrell Thomas. That's a good tackle. And you can see at the end, Umenyiora, he's got something to say to Kyle Orton. Kyle Orton has something to say back. And really, all they were exchanging greetings for having hey, you have a very happy Thanksgiving. And you have one too.
It's kind of like us at our meeting.
Yeah, kind of the same thing.
Face to face like that.
Absolutely. You know, at one point you just want to go, did you brush your teeth today? Sometimes that comes out.
47-yard field goal attempt from Matt Prater. Mitch Berger to hold. Broncos trying to add to a 13-point lead. And Prater is true right down the middle from 47. And the Broncos now lead it 16-0. Now, even before the field goal attempt, Umenyiora getting into it with Daniel Graham.
You know, at one point,
look at Tony Grenti getting in there.
At one point, you got to have less flapping with the gums and more flapping with your arms and legs coming off the edge. Get a pass rush, that'll speak for itself.
Umenyiora letting his offense hear it as well. The Giants done nothing offensively. They're averaging 1.4 yards per play on offense.
That's abysmal. And they know it. Yeah, you don't, trust me, as a player, as a teammate, you know what's going on. And I can understand what Umenyiora is doing. He wants to get there. He's letting them know exactly what he feels. I've always been a big fan of that. As a player, hey, you have something to say, you go ahead and tell him. And now you go do your job. You individually, you're doing your job, you can have something to say. And then also expect that if you're not, somebody's going to jump down your throat too.
Well, it certainly feels like the Broncos are in the Giants' head. here in the first half. Beating him to the punch. Quicker and faster right now. Prater will record his 4th touchback here in the first half. They'll kick off Sunday with NFL Game Day Morning, the earliest and best pregame show on Sunday. NFL Game Day Morning with all pros Marshall Faulk, Michael Irvin, and Warren Sapp starts at 9 Eastern only on NFL Network. They take you out to various stadiums around the league, get the latest injuries and the latest news, get shots of players on the field warming up. And you get a look at the Giants right now. They're not warmed up offensively. Manning 5'11" for 18 yards. Ware with 13 yards rushing, but a fumble. And Steve Smith with 1 catch. So it's a lack of offense, really, for the Giants. Brandon Jacobs to the 27-yard line, picks up 7 on the play.
And so if you're Kevin Gilbride and you're the offensive coordinator for the Giants, what do? You're not doing anything well. You're trying to establish some kind of bounce. Forget all that. Go do one thing well. If it's pounding the football, you have to establish something. Because to this point, they've established nothing.
2nd and 3, nobody open. Manning for Jacobs. Takes on Hagan and pushes it out to the 36-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play, and that's their longest offensive play of the game.
Well, what can be said really is the Denver Broncos are covering these Giant receivers all over the field. Eli's looking down the field and has nowhere to go.
Giants have 2 timeouts remaining in the 2-minute warning. Again, Steve Smith drops it. Alphonso Smith on the coverage, but right in and out of the hands of Steve Smith.
And there's an opportunity that you can't do that. He doesn't drop the ball very often. He's pretty sure-handed, but that's one that got away. And rest assured, even when you're dropping them like that, or you're going to make the catch, there's a defender right there on top of you.
Crowd into it. Jacobs with some room. And then gets knocked down at the 42-yard line. Gain of 5. Alphonso Smith, the rookie out of Wake Forest, on the tackle. Last time the Giants went without scoring in the first half. Wild card playoff game. January the 8th, 2006 against Carolina. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. The Giants have 2 minutes to change that stat. All Broncos here in the first half. Denver Broncos host the New York Giants.
Tonight it's going to come down on the shoulders of Kyle Orton.
The Broncos will go for it here on 4th and 5. Wide open Scheffler again. 1st and goal Broncos. But what a catch by Marshall. Touchdown Broncos. Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. Giants will face a 3rd and 4 at the 2-minute warning. It's been all Broncos. Manning sacked again. Elvis Dumervil gets his 13th of the season.
Elvis is an excellent pass rusher, but again, go back and thank your coverage. They were man-to-man, 1 free. You'll see the safety down the middle, but manned up everywhere else. Nowhere to throw the ball. Excellent coverage. He can't find anyone except for Dumervil, who hits him right in the kisser.
Denver will burn their first timeout.
There's a name, Elvis Dumervil, who's leading the National Football League in sacks, who has just been playing at just a great level. And I got to tell you, he reminds me of Tommy Jackson. Same type of player. Not a big guy, has a great first step, gets off blocks extremely well, and plays with outstanding leverage.
Tommy Jackson, great Denver Bronco.
Oh yeah, he's as good as
Orange
a guy.
Crush. Alphonso Smith back deep as Fiegel's punts. Royal got shaken up earlier. Smith will get knocked down right at the 10-yard line. Brian Keel on the tackle after a 55-yard punt.
You're just talking about Elvis Dumervil. We talked about, he's not the biggest guy, but he uses that to his advantage. You can see David Deal, the tackle, and Kareem McKenzie, the other tackle. Both of them big men, tall men. Elvis Dumervil, that's standing on a block. You can see he's on his tippy toes right there at 5'11".
Yeah, and he's given away 79 pounds to McKenzie and 71 pounds to Deal.
So you say, how does he do it? It's real simple. Low man wins. It's all about leverage in this league. He plays with great leverage. He plays with bent knees, and he is quick as a cat.
Dumervil and the Broncos rolling.
The UEFA Champions League continues on Rogers Sportsnet. Things have hit the critical point as there's just one match left for each club in the group stage. Which minnow will rise up to advance, and which powerhouse will be left on the outside looking in? 32 teams remain, but only 16 will be left standing. See it all unfold live right here on Rogers Sportsnet. Continues December 8th.
Back in Denver, the offensive line for the Giants cannot figure out the fronts of the Denver Broncos here in the first half. Broncos with a 16-0 lead. They'll start 1st and 10 from their own 11-yard line. Kyle Orton, 12 of 19, 159 yards passing. Michael Johnson got hurt on that last punt, the safety for the Giants, so C.C. Brown is in. Correll Buckhalter crossed the 15 to about the 17-yard line before he stood up. Well, coming up next, it's the Sprint halftime show with Rich Eisen, Marshall Faulk, Deion Sanders, and Steve Mariucci. Take a look at run to the playoffs and Super Bowl halftime entertainment revealed. All coming up at the half. You don't want to miss all the analysis.
Well, it was good in the pregame, and those guys hit a home run. Heard Marshall Faulk talking about Oshan Moreno. Deion was talking about the nightmare. Brandon Marshall, you heard Steve Mariucci talking about Dumervil. They're all over this.
2nd and 5. Moreno to the edge. 1st down. Finally hit by C.C. Brown. Ryan Clady with a nice block on the edge to spring Moreno. Gain of 11.
He's getting a lot of good blocks out there. Starting Scheffler, number 88. You can see Hochstein, 71. Clady, 78. It's just really well blocked. And Moreno is able to get the edge and the first.
Broncos have had the ball for 18 minutes and 51 seconds. And you wonder how fatigued the Giant defense also is starting to get here with their offense doing nothing. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Moreno again. Flag on the play as he's shouldered out at the 47. But it's thrown by the referee in the vicinity of holding.
Holding, offense, number 89. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Daniel Graham called for the penalty. That wipes out the run for Moreno.
Then wipes out the run, and I wonder if he didn't just because he's latched on. And remember, in the league, you can have your hands. You take a good look at him right here, number 89. You keep your hands on the outside. Now work them on the inside, and you're fine. From that angle, I couldn't really tell what he did. But Hochstein had himself a nice block, and Moreno was able to get to the edge. At the point of attack, you can keep your hands on the outside and then work them back inside. You just can't throw the guy, which is what happened the last time.
1st and 20 from the Denver 17. Buckhalter picks up 2. Justin Tuck on the tackle. Approaching a half-minute to go in the first half. Broncos with a 16-0 lead, 3 field goals, and a no-Sean Moreno 1-yard touchdown run. Broncos have to run one more play before the end of the half. Difference of about 3 seconds on the game clock and play clock.
Well, the Broncos have clearly outplayed the Giants in this first half, but just speaking to Kyle Orton just the other day, he says, we have not been a good second half team, and we have to rectify that.
Well, they're off to a good start with a really good first half. They'll head to the locker room, the Giants and Denver Broncos, with the Broncos leading 16-0. Now it's time for Rich, Marshall, Deanna, and Mooch, the Sprint halftime show. Thursday night football, Thanksgiving style, as the Denver Broncos host the New York Giants.
Tonight is going to come down on the shoulders of Kyle Orton.
Quarterback and receiver, the great ones usually have some type of chemistry. This is the week for us to get on the same page and make big plays.
What a catch by Marshall. Touchdown, Broncos.
Are you ready for another serving
Of Thanksgiving football
Coming up next,
on NFL Network.
happy Thanksgiving.
And back in Denver, let's take a look at the first half game summary presented by Sears. 16-0 Broncos. The Giants with just 3 first downs. Kyle Orton 12 of 19, 159 yards, 213 yards of offense for the Broncos. Bob Popple along with Matt Millen. So glad you can spend your Thanksgiving evening with us here in Denver, and it has been a dominant performance to this point by the Denver Broncos.
And particularly with their offensive defensive lines, they've really taken the game over. They've allowed Kyle Orton to be able to throw some things down the field, and also Sean Moreno to be able to pick his points and get down the field. Offensively, they've been great, and defensively, the same thing. Mike Nolan has kept them off balance, and it's been an outstanding first half for the Broncos.
Well, look at this, Matt. Look what Melissa's bringing in for you. Look
that
at
looks
this
good.
little Thanksgiving. Get out of there. You've had enough.
Have some of that stuff.
I mean, I know you want a leg right now, but I'm sure you'll nibble during the course of the game. Then you're going to hand out a leftover award afterwards, huh?
I don't know if there's going to be any leftovers.
Not with you here.
If you don't hear me in the second half, it's because I'm chomping.
Potato. They've got everything here. Thank Melissa for bringing that to us. Josh McDaniels and his team have feasted right now on the Giants and their defense. Lawrence Tynes will kick off for the first time tonight. Terrell Buckhalter back deep with the injury to Eddie Royal. Buckhalter makes a man miss, gets run out by C.C. Brown at the 21.
Well, we talked about the defense and what's been going on. So this is what Eli Manning's seeing. You're seeing 3 people being rushed, which means there are 8 guys back. But DJ Williams, take a good look. He is in the middle of the field. That's the deep third. They have guys running all over. So you have your 8 guys back. It's a 5 under 3 deep, but you don't know who's going where, and it's confusing.
And as Giants offensive coordinator Kevin Gilbride told us yesterday, they're a master at not having any tendencies. That's their tendency. Buckhalter on the toss. Hit by Rouse, but he carries him for 10. And another Denver first down. So for Sean Moreno, a gain of 10 carries for 50 yards.
Okay, here's what I want you to watch. Look at the offensive line blocking, but I want you to watch Moreno, how we call this pressing the hole. Watch how he starts up inside. He'll start, and then boom, he'll bounce it back. And what he does is he gets you flowing. And they have that outside zone read. Everybody's moving, and then he takes it back up inside.
White 20. Give us up.
Orton on a 1st and 10. For Marshall. What a catch again by Brandon Marshall.
He
Gain
told
of 33.
He told me before the game he's going to put on a show. He is not disappointed. Working against Corey Webster. And look, that's not bad coverage. This is just, what Deion said, he's a nightmare to have to cover. He's got the great size. He has the great hands. In this instance, again, hand.
He only needs one.
He needs one.
Talking with him before the game, he was just so fired up. Sean Moreno picks up a yard. And gets turned back, so Moreno now 11 carries for 51 yards. Fred Robbins on the tackle.
You know, just talking to Kyle Orton yesterday and asking him about his receivers, and he was talking about Brandon Marshall. He said, listen, if I know I have one-on-one, I'm just throwing it up. I know this guy can do things other guys can't do. You know, and we're seeing the one-hand catches, but if you're even, he's beating him.
Check it. 52's Mike. 52's Mike.
Calls out Michael Boley on 2nd and 9. Marshall again gets what he could get just inside the 30-yard line. Corey Webster was there to help make the tackle along with Michael Boley.
You know, he grew up in Pittsburgh. I saw him. I said, "You're a Pittsburgh guy?" I said, "You're a Yunzer?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm a Yunzer." They said he moved.
Explain where Yuns are coming.
Yeah, well, you know, in Western Pennsylvania, Eastern Pennsylvania, they say, hey, where are you guys going? And in Western Pennsylvania, they say, where are Yuns going? That's a Yunzer.
Hey, check it. 52's the mic. 52's the mic. 180. Lights up.
Giants on a blitz. Orton with plenty of time. Throws it right to Terrell Thomas. And the second-year corner out of USC gets his 4th pick of the season.
And that's the play that the Giants needed. And this comes on the arm of Kyle Orton. This is just poorly thrown.
Terrell Thomas with a 25-yard return.
Line. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And by Radio Shack. The Shack scores big with all the latest product.
Giants on a 1st and 10. Brandon Jacobs picks up 5 on the play after the Terrell Thomas interception for Kyle Orton, his 6th interception of the season. So far, Brandon Jacobs 6 carries for just 21 yards against this Denver defense.
And he got the majority of them at the end of the second quarter, and he was all they had early. I mean, I should say at the end of that half.
Second and 5. Manning to Manningham. First down to the Denver 42. Gain of 14.
Just playing a little soft. You could say that's the fewest yards allowed since 03. An excellent first half by Mike Nolan's defense in the first half, but all that means nothing now.
And that 13-yard pass play, the longest play by the Giants so far tonight on offense. First time in Broncos territory. Play clock at 5. Jacobs, he'll lose a yard. Andre Goodman and Mario Hagan on the tackle.
Yeah, Hagan came down, but if you're going to play the type of defense that Mike Nolan's Broncos are playing, your corners better come down and support.
Doesn't that also speak to what ails the Giants right now is they can't play power football, which has always been their bread and butter.
Yeah, it's always been. And they're trying to set the edge right now. They're trying to get there, but Andre Goodman just did a fantastic job of taking the edge away.
Second and 12. Manning, Boss, hit and knocked down at the 34 by Brian Dawkins. About 2.5, 3 yards short of a first down. I'd like to welcome those of you who are joining us on NFL.com. Welcome to NFL Network Thursday Night Football. You can log on now to NFL.com/live for enhanced coverage of tonight's game.
Third and short, see if we don't get tight coverage. Giants come out in a bunch package.
This is the shortest third down attempt of the night for the Giants. 3rd and 2. Manning.
Oh, great catch.
Manningham on the sideline on Goodman, and it's a first down. What a catch by Mario Manningham.
That's a great catch, but an even better throw. That throw is the only place it could be because Andre Goodman has taken away the route, basically. Watch him jump to the top side. He's not going to run away from him. It has to be underneath on the back shoulder, and Manningham does a fantastic job of keeping his feet in bounds. Ooh.
Eli Manning was trying to get a play snap, and Denver called the timeout.
That's so they could take a look at this one on the sideline.
Josh McDaniels hasn't thrown his red flag yet.
There is no timeout charge.
Well, the time is out. Unless he threw the flag. Watch his feet on the bottom. Watch control. Yeah, both feet are in.
Hey, drags
both
the left
feet are
foot.
Denver is challenging the ruling on
His
the field
right
of a
foot was
completed
already
pass.
down and an established position on the ground right by the sideline, and then he dragged his left foot.
Yep, he has control of the ball, and both feet are in before he drags it to the out of bounds. Watch, there is the catch, control. Both feet are in. That's a good catch.
Denver 2 of 9 on challenges this year.
That is great body control by Mario Manningham.
Tony Parente will go to the replay monitor. Tom Coughlin hoping that Mario Manningham will have this catch for a first down. Josh McDaniels hoping otherwise. The key is that his right foot was down and in the field of play. He was able to drag his left foot and then control the ball throughout the act of the catch. That was key.
Body part control. Manningham shows it perfectly. Watch that right there. See the feet? Inbounds. There is control by the ball. That looks like a catch.
This is a completed pass, resulting in a New York Giants first down. Denver will be charged with their first timeout.
And that was huge because it was 3rd and 2 for the Giants, and now with the catch being ruled good, it gives the Giants a first down, and maybe that Terrell Thomas interception has pumped some life into a dormant Giant football team.
This looks like a different offense right now, and Manning is finding his rhythm.
Jacobs in a one-back set.
That's up top. There's Dawkins. He's playing the line again.
Jacobs is going to lose about 3. Andre Davis and Kenny Peterson on the hit.
All you have to watch on this replay is the shoulders of Brandon Jacobs. And look at the direction that they're in. They never get squared to the line of scrimmage. They're going this way the whole time. And when he's running sideways, he's gaining 0 ground. In fact, he's losing it. And that just tells you that the Broncos won.
David Deal got beat squarely at the point of attack. The left tackle by Kenny Peterson. 2nd and 13. Manning, Jacobs dropped it.
He was forced to step up because of the pressure coming off his top right side. Looked like it was Elvis Dumerville, all 5 foot, whatever, 10 and a half, 10. Watch him. Watch him use leverage. Watch him stay under the pads. Look at that. Perfect job. Now just run to the edge and come back. But because he was able to get that pressure up inside, he forced Manning to step up and make the errant throw.
So the Giants with a 3rd and 13. They failed on a 3rd and 19 earlier. Smith, short of the sticks, tackled right at the 21-yard line. Wesley Woodyard, second-year linebacker of Kentucky, on the tackle.
He'll set up a 4th down, and they have to make a decision. The decision is to kick it. Put some points on the board.
So Lawrence Tynes in his 6th year out of Troy, former Kansas City Chief. The first field goal of his career while a member of the Chiefs was made right here in this building against the Broncos. From 39 yards, he's had trouble in this range. Fiegels to hold. Tynes kick down the middle, and with 7:55 to go in the 3rd, the Giants on the board. Broncos lead it 16-3.
To all my family and friends in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Orlando, Florida, hello. I love you guys, and send me a pie.
Well, Matt Millen, we could send him a pie. You have some leftovers from your turkey. I'll tell you what, they're sending the ball his way. 5 catches, 76 yards tonight.
Well, he said he was going to put on a show, and he has. In fact, he's got 1 less yard than the New York Giant offense.
Giants have 77 yards in total offense. Correll Buckhalter from the 1. Tripped up as he got to the 25-yard line. It's been a big night for Brandon Marshall. He's done it with just one hand half the time.
Yeah, he hasn't needed much. And the coverage has been there, but he's just been a monster. Hey, Deion Sanders said he was a nightmare, and that's the reason he is a nightmare. He's got the great size. He's got the speed. His hands are outstanding. He just goes after the ball.
Marshall comes in motion. Sean Moreno hit by Cofield after a gain of 2. 12 carries, 53 yards for Sean Moreno. He has the Broncos' only touchdown here this evening.
And he's been running well, but in order to get him slowed down, this Giant defense has got to get pressure up the field. I mean, you've got to get vertical pressure. They've not been doing that tonight.
2nd and 8. Horton buys time, has Marshall. He's got a first down up to the 37-yard line. Gain of 10.
And he also had very good blocking up front, and it continues. This offensive line is able to handle it, which allows Marshall to be able to just find the hole. You can see the throwing lane right there. And Marshall just comes across and picks up the first.
Chris Cooper on that play obliterated one of the defensive tackles. Buckhalter picks up 2. Kiwanuka on the tackle for the Giants. Buckhalter 10 carries, 27 yards.
You see how Josh McDaniels is calling this running game. He likes to get to the edge. He wants this defense running sideways. And then with that zone movement, that outside zone steps that they're taking, you get the entire defense going sideways, and then that's when you press the point and come back the other way.
Buckhalter again. Hit at the 41, gain of 2.
Well, that one Buckhalter had to get on his horse because C.C. Brown right there, number 41, he comes and he's able to see a crack and he runs right into it and he forces it from the backside. Watch C.C. Brown, he's going to come through. Now he takes the cut back away. And then they're going to try to get to that edge, but Brown is able to run him down.
Broncos will face a 3rd and 6. Pass dropped on the receiver screen to Sean Moreno.
And it had a chance right there. They went empty backfield. And he had 2 blockers in front of him. Had he been able to hold on to that, it would have been interesting.
So with 5:27 to go in the 3rd, the Broncos by 13 will punt the football away. Mitch Berger in. Dominic Hickson back deep for New York.
Kyle Orton said they haven't been a good second half team so far. The Giants are winning this battle in the second half.
Hickson from the 9. Nice tackle made in the open field by David Bruton. With 5:18 to go in the 3rd. The Broncos by 13. Aerial cam presented by Southwest Airlines. A great look at Invesco Field at Mile High. The Thanksgiving Night Football on NFL Network. 5:18 to go in the 3rd. Broncos in front, 16-13. 1st and 10 Giants. Manning. Smith hit by Dawkins right at the 20-yard line, gain of 6.
You know what the Broncos have been doing tonight, they've been giving you a lot of movement up front. And I want you to watch Vonnie Holliday and Elvis Dumervil, but watch Holliday because he's going to grab Seibert 69 and Deal 66 right there. And in essence, he blocks all 3 of them. And that allows Dumervil to come clean. All because Vonnie Holliday takes up 2 initially and 3 finally.
2nd and 3. Jacobs takes it up to the 23, a yard short of the first down, gain of 2. Ronald Fields got the first hit.
There's some good football going on down there. You can see this is the only player under 6 foot. We were being generous. We could have gone to 5'10".
Yeah.
But we thought we'd cut him a break.
He's about 5'10".
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You know, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And that guy is a dog who knows how to fight.
Big 3rd and 1 coming up for the Giants. On the season, they're just 11 of 17 on 3rd and 1s. Danny Ware in a tailback. Ware has a first down and more. Hit at the 36. But a gain of 13 for DJ Ware. We'll call him DJ after a run like that.
DJ Ware, and he gets a nice job by Boss. Kareem McKenzie, 67. Snee, 76. They set the edge. There it is. Boss does an outstanding job. Does another job right there by 67 McKenzie, and a nice run, but a sudden stop because of Dawkins just jumped in his face.
The cleaner, Brian Dawkins, cleans everything up. 1st and 10. New York with 3:23 to go in the third. Manning with all day. Over the head of Smith, who gets hammered by Dawkins. And what coverage by the Broncos.
Fantastic coverage. Lots of time for Manning to throw. And again, wherever the ball is, that's where Brian Dawkins is going. That's a way he got forced out of the pocket and had to run the other way. So now you're going to come back to Boss is his brother, Champ Bailey's side. They're sitting in the zone, nowhere to go. And then here comes Brian Dawkins. How about the Giant players talking about Brian Dawkins say, you know what, I can't stand that guy, but boy, would I love to have him on my team.
Right. They all said the same thing. He's one of those guys that you hate when you play against, but you love him if he was on your team. 2nd and 10. Manning got Smith open. 1st down to the 33-yard line of Denver. Gain of 29.
And what a fantastic throw by Eli Manning. He starts on the outside and he goes to get width, and Manning puts it just perfectly. Look at this ball. That is really well thrown. Watch, it was just across. Nice little rub inside there. Just a little rub.
Just a little, like the rub on your turkey that you've been eating. Jacobs in a tailback, play clock at 3. Manning sails it over the head of Dominic Hickson.
Because Brian Dawkins came clean off the edge. They brought the safety blitz, and he got his hands up and forced the ball to come high. You're gonna watch him. You can see him right down here. He's just sneaking up. He's done this 1,000 times, and there it is. Every time I've watched Brian, I think he's playing as well now as I've ever seen him play. And he has rejuvenated this secondary here in Denver.
4-time first-team All-Pro. Broncos show blitz. Screen for Jacobs. Gets a block. Jacobs to the 20. And he has a 1st down. Gain of 13 on the play.
Outstanding call. It's an outstanding call because he's anticipating man coverage, and that's what he gets. And when you get that and you're running a screen, the most important block is the first one on the backer, right there. And that is really well done. Looked like it was Sean O'Hara, number 60, and Seibert, 69, cleans it up, and it's a 1st down, and the Giants are on the move.
Dumerville shaken up. From the Denver 20. Manning with time in traffic, nearly intercepted, intended for Hickson. Tremendous coverage by the Broncos.
They have been all over the Giant receivers. And what we saw, really, and you can take a look at these 80 drives of 80 or more, they have been very efficient this year. Driving the field. They have their opportunity right here.
Dumerville coming back into the ball game after getting shaken up on a play. I think that stat goes again back to their inability to run the football effectively. Jacobs flag, and he gains nothing. I think they're going to get Kevin Boss for the hold on Robert Ayers, the rookie out of Tennessee.
Here's Tony Caretti, referee.
Holding, offense, number 89, 10-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
Now, Giants head coach Tom Coughlin likes to call the red zone the green zone, but it's been a red zone for them because of penalties and miscues.
Now you can see how he grabbed there at Boss, number 89. Initially, he was fine with his first hit, but when he spun, he held on to him, and that's what they flagged.
Play clock at 2. Manning gets it off. Nobody open. Ware plastered. And there's a flag on the play as well.
I'll tell you what, that is some outstanding defense that you're watching there. That's as good as it gets right there.
Champ Bailey got the first hit on DJ Ware. And we'll check the flag.
Pass interference, offense number 12. This penalty has been declined. The result for the play, third down.
That's Steve Smith would be offensive pass interference.
Looked like he was trying to block, thinking Manning might run. Ware shaken up. Giants have a 3rd and long coming up. With a 3rd and 24 at the Denver 34. Under a minute to go in the 3rd. They need to get to the 10. Manning with time. Manning through the hands of Smith at the 22.
Another job of coverage. They rushed 3 and dropped 8. What we showed you earlier, 5 under, 3 deep, that is really tough to throw against. Because all your zone people, it makes the windows very, very small. And of course, in the middle of it all is Brian Dawkins. Always around the football. It's a fantastic football player.
Lawrence Tynes is in to try a 52-yard field goal. Last 50-yard attempt when he was with Kansas City against Atlanta in 06. Snap is good, and he's got it from 52. So the Giants get 3 with 30 seconds to go and now trail by 10. Marcus Thomas shaken up.
I just want you to take a good watch here. Watch Wesley Woodyard. This was 2 plays ago when they forced the throw. Watch Woodyard come out. He sees DJ Ware. Boom, he takes care of him first. And then he knows he has to force the throw and goes to the next level. But because he hit him, he allowed the defense to be able to converge and make a great stop on the top side by Champ Bailey.
Wesley Woodyard signed as a free agent last year out of Kentucky. Had to start 6 games last year, if you remember the fact that the Broncos were ravaged by injuries, not only at running back, but at the linebacker position. Watch NFL Total Access for the latest news, interviews, and analysis from all 32 teams. NFL Total Access, Monday through Saturday, 7 Eastern, only on NFL Network. You guys get caught up on all the latest news from around the league. Check in on the different teams as they prepare for their games each weekend. NFL Total Access exclusively here on NFL Network.
They got great opinions, great insight. They have a lot of good players, good smart players. Yeah, I said this years ago when I covered Marshall Faulk. I thought Marshall Faulk was one of the smartest players I've ever been around on the field. And he brings that same thing to the show.
Speaking of smart players, there's Champ Bailey in his 11th year out of Georgia, playing a masterful game tonight.
The secondary has been all over these receivers. Mike Nolan's been mixing coverages, and they've been executing it flawlessly.
Buckhalter will run it out from 5 yards deep. They'll gain the 20 and more. Out to the 37-yard line. C.C. Brown on the tackle. 42-yard return for Correll Buckhalter.
C.C. Brown, that's a great job of hustling, and he prevents. This could have been 6 quick. C.C. Brown does a great job of turning and pursuit, gets on his horse and runs him down from behind. Watch number 41. You see him right here, C.C. Brown. Okay, he's blocked. That's fine. Don't stay blocked. Turn and run. That's outstanding.
On a 1st and 10, Sean Moreno takes it to the 41, gain of 5, hit by Chris Canty and brought down. So the Denver Broncos have lost 4 in a row. Coming into tonight's Thanksgiving affair against the New York Giants. And right now the Broncos lead it by 10. Great defense and a lot of Brandon Marshall. 16-6 Broncos after 3. Through 3 quarters, the Broncos lead the Giants 16-6. Eli Manning, 14 of 26 for 113 yards. Broncos will start the 4th from their own 41-yard line. They've been outscored 53-0 in the 4th quarter in their last 4. Sean Moreno has a 1st down into Giant territory. OCU Manura on the tackle, but a gain of 12.
Daniel Graham had the backer blocked 12 yards down the field. Here he comes across in motion. You're going to watch him. He's just going to get on Michael Boley here. Now watch, he just takes him for a ride. Good job by Jabbar Gaffney on the outside. This is just well blocked. You see Russ Hochstein right there, 71.
Moreno, 14 carries, 69 yards. He'll take it again on the toss. And some room. Picks up about 12 more.
They are crushing the perimeter. They are crushing the edge. They are setting the edge, and they are just abusing it. And here they come. Watch Daniel Graham again. He's just going to take Corey Webster for a ride. Nicely blocked right there by Palumbo, 76. And Moreno's really, you watch this picture. There's nothing around him. Just going to run right at you and nothing coming towards him. All because it's well blocked.
Averaging 5.4 yards a carry tonight. Sean Moreno.
Listen.
Gorgeous place for a stroll in the trolley car in downtown Denver. See right tackle Tyler Palumbo shaken up on the last play, so 8th-year pro Brandon Gorin comes in at right tackle. Ryan Harris inactive for the Broncos on a 1st and 10. Buckhalter inside the 35 to the 32, gain of 4 on the play. Justin Tuck on the tackle.
This Giant defense is completely off balance. They have been able to set the edge and run on the edge all night, and now they're taking a couple of body shots inside, and if that doesn't work, protection has been just phenomenal, and he's been able to save one poor throw. They've dominated this Giant defense.
Marshall goes in motion. Buckhalter again. That time Aaron Rouse shuts it down after a gain of 1.
I got a lot of Giant friends at home, and one buddy, Greg Maduro, he asked me 100 times, how the heck is this Giant defense, the same personnel, how can they be this different in a year? And there's a couple of reasons, the least of which, I go to the interior of that defensive line. And 2 of those guys are coming off of injuries, and they're not quite the same.
Broncos with a 3rd and 5. Orton, Gaffney, 1st down, tackled at the 19-yard line by Corey Webster. Gain of 12.
Nice protection. Ball comes out quick. Gaffney's where he has to be, and they're moving again. Watch the protection. Nobody around him. Ball's coming out fast. Gaffney just sits it down. Orton knows exactly where he wants to go, and it's another 1st down. A great picture, and watch Gaffney turn it up inside.
And again, a great job by the offensive line of the Broncos, not allowing any inside push.
None whatsoever.
Giving Orton a clean pocket. From the 19, Moreno picks up a couple. The 16, gain of 4 on the play.
Well, I've been impressed with Sean Moreno and his ability to run with his eyes. And we showed you earlier how he likes to press the hole, but there are times when there's nothing there. He just has the good vision, and here's the key, great patience.
16 carries, 84 yards. They gave him 3 on the play. They give it to Moreno again. And Terrell Thomas and Justin Tuck on the tackle. Well, no Sean Moreno. 17 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, here's a guy, like you said earlier, when it's not there, he's able to improvise. But just watch how he just slides to the hole. He'll press it and then slide. He's got good speed, excellent vision, very patient runner, and he's got good strength. Just a rookie. It's all in front of him. And they've always had good running backs out here in Denver, and he's next in line.
Rocky Bernard down and hurt before the snap. With 10:35 to go in the game, Broncos trying to add to a 10-point lead. Pretty organized. They even sit in the order in which they line up.
At least they're not going by number numerically across the board.
But the Giant offensive line has not been able to figure out the Denver defense. 3rd and 8 for the Broncos. From the 17, Stokely in motion. Orton, middle of the field, wide open, touchdown Broncos. Brandon Stokely. There's a flag on the play.
Holding defense, number 41. Result of the play, touchdown.
Stokely's 3rd touchdown catch of the season. Matt, how did he get so wide open?
Well, first of all, he had excellent protection again. But I want you to watch Stokely come down. Z short motion, gets to the middle. They just blew the coverage. There is nobody there. Nobody around. Stokely takes advantage. And again, Orton has the time, step and throw. And they end their drought of getting drilled in the 4th quarter.
And the previous 4 games outscored 53-0 in the 4th quarter. Well, they have 7 here tonight and lead it 23-6. Brandon Stokely has a touchdown.
I want you to watch right here. Need to come down, Z short motion. They start talking back here. Back here. You're going to keep a safety to this side and a safety to this side, but there's nobody in the middle of the field. One of these guys on the inside coverage are going to lock up man here and here. See it? They lock the man up, and he just comes clean, and it's 6 quick.
Josh McDaniels dials up the touchdown. Great protection, complimenting Casey Wigman and that offensive line, who have played a tremendous ball game tonight for the Denver Broncos.
They really have. I'll tell you who also played a whale of a game has been Daniel Graham. He got flagged a couple times, but you talk about setting the edge. He's been setting it all day long.
Hickson will run it out. And David Bruton, the rookie out of Notre Dame, makes the tackle at the 16-yard line.
Bruton's had himself a heck of a game here tonight on special teams as well. Watch Bruton just finish that tackle inside the 20. Anytime you can get a tackle inside the 20, that's a huge play for the special team. There's Rick Dennison, the offensive line coach. He should be very pleased with his troops tonight.
And the Broncos will call a timeout before the Giants snap the ball with 10-11 to go in the ball game. And the Broncos with a 17-point lead. Well, make sure you catch NFL Playbook to find out who will win this weekend and why. Top analysts break down this weekend's games with an expert look at the X's and O's. NFL Playbook Friday and Saturday at 6 Eastern, only on NFL Network. Well, the Giants can't figure things out. Fans are thankful that Thursday Night Football is here in Denver, and the Broncos obviously are pretty pleased as well. Bob Harper along with Matt Millen. They have dominated this game at the point of attack, the key spot Denver has.
Well, and they've won on both sides of the line of scrimmage, particularly their offensive line. They have just had an outstanding game.
Brandon Jacobs chased by Dumerville, maybe a yard, and that's it. And, you know, for the Giants, their running game non-existent. Brandon Jacobs with 10 carries for 20 yards.
And And the way they've done it, they've given the movement, they've run tackle stunts inside, end stunts inside. But anytime they've been able to get to the edge or to the next level, the guy who's been there faultlessly has been Brian Dawkins. He has played just a phenomenal game here tonight, both in pass coverage and at the line of scrimmage.
And I guess that team meeting that he called earlier this week worked. He gathered the team around, and he's a veteran guy. He's a Pro Bowler. You know, last year on Thanksgiving night, NFL Network was in Philadelphia, and the Eagles were really struggling. They were coming off that bad loss against Baltimore, and they were playing the Arizona Cardinals. And Dawkins literally dragged that Eagles team emotionally through that week, and they played a masterful game on defense. And a victory, and then a run to the NFC Championship. Manning, Hakeem Nicks hit by Bailey at the 32. It's a gain of 11 and a first down for the Giants.
There's a guy who I'd like to see more of, Hakeem Nicks. He's got big play in him. That time they were in man-to-man, and Champ Bailey was locked up on him. That guy, he's just got great hands. He plucks the ball and uses his body very well.
Giants will go no huddle here, down 17. Manning, sack, fumble, recovered by the Broncos. Dumerville forced it. DJ Williams recovered it.
Elvis Dumerville from Louisville.
Gets his second sack of the night.
Good coverage, but Dumerville just with a nice move back inside by Deal and slaps the ball away and forces the fumble.
Now there's flags on the play.
Delay a game after the conclusion of the entire play for spiking the ball to the ground. 5-yard penalty. It'll be first down for Denver.
And that was Ronald Fields. You saw with the spike.
There's Dumerville. Now watch. Always come from the top, slap the ball. Actually didn't even have to. He hit him in the back. The ball pops loose. Watch him on the top of your screen. You're going to see it coming. Watch him take the inside right there. You know how that happens? He used leverage, got into his chest, forced him up high, and then came back underneath. That's beautiful.
O'Shawn Moreno plows his way to the 30. Gain of 6.
We saw this before. Daniel Graham again. Columbus again. O'Shawn Moreno coming off. Looks like he's holding his shoulder a little bit. Maybe a stinger, who knows?
18 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown for the rookie out of Georgia.
He's run really well tonight.
57's the line. 57's the line.
Second and 4. Buckhalter has the edge, has the first down. Pushed out by C.C. Brown at the 20. Gain of 10.
Here's O'Shawn Moreno on the previous play. Just takes a hit and gets down. Columbus falls on top of him. Just holding his shoulder. So they take him to the sideline and bring Buckhalter in. And he responds versus the edge to the other side.
Can't be easy when you have a 300-pound teammate falling on him.
Yeah, that's all 6'8.5", 310 pounds.
Buckhalter again. Maybe a half yard. Michael Boley got the first hit. So continue to look at O'Shawn Moreno. 7:33 to go in the ball game.
You know, the one thing I got to tell you, I've been around this league for a long time. The one thing that has improved dramatically is the medical staffs on teams and the medical attention you get. I mean, they are all over stuff, as opposed to 30-some years ago where they said, "How do you feel?" "Good." "All right, get back in there."
Let's tape it up, Matt.
Exactly.
Little ice. Scheffler wide open again. Slips and avoids a big hit. They'll be a yard short of the first down, gain of 8. Well, again, welcome those fans joining us on NFL.com, the NFL Network, Thursday Night Football. A reminder, you can log on to NFL.com/live now for enhanced coverage of tonight's game. The Broncos will face a 3rd and 1 They continue to check on Moreno. Denver 1 for 1 tonight on 3rd and 1.
This Denver offensive line plus Daniel Graham has been phenomenal tonight.
Buckhalter to the 9, and he has enough for the first down. Danny Clark on the tackle. So it'll be 1st and goal again for the Broncos. They lead it here in the 4th. 6 minutes and 15 seconds away from snapping a 4-game losing streak.
So you think against this team that you're going to get some pressure. So I want you to watch Wigman, 62. He knows he's going to get pressure, and he does. And Cofield tries to blow him up the field. So what he does, he just takes him and takes him backwards and takes the hit and uses his own momentum against him.
Denver with 370 yards of offense. Buckhalter will lose a couple. Matthias Kiwanuka on the tackle. 5:40 to go in the ball game. And really, Matt, you get back to the long and short of this game. Kyle Orton's played well, the exception of that interception, but this game has been won at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and it's been all Denver.
There is no question. Can't say enough about the job this offensive line has done. They've protected Orton. They've set the edge like we've talked about, and they've allowed these running backs to run well.
Orton for Marshall. Can't reel it in. Webster there.
Well played by Webster. He knew he had that beast Marshall on top of him. And just does a good job. Watch how he stays on top. Gonna take away the inside, now play the receiver. Ball's in the air, play the ball. Little jostling going along and down there, and that's okay. That's good by the officials to let him play.
Webster had a little grab on the right arm of Marshall.
What's a little grab among friends?
3rd and goal. Kiwanuka comes flying across. Head linesman comes in, conferring with the umpire. And Tony Correnti, our referee.
Encroachment, defense, the nose guard. 5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down.
That's Fred Bryan, the umpire, number 11. I think he's one of the good ones. He's a younger umpire who does an excellent job in his mechanics, and he's not afraid to take control out there.
We saw him dive in earlier on a fumble by DJ Ware.
See his hat? Those are the microphones we have on.
Stokely in motion. They'll run it, and Kiwanuka gobbles up Buckhalter. The Broncos will send out the field goal unit with 5:05 to go, leading 23-6, and the Giants will burn a timeout. Buckhalter a bit gimpy coming off. Denver's amassed 368 yards of offense. Orton 18 of 28, 245 yards. Take a look at the AFC playoff picture right now. You see the division leaders on your left, and you see Denver Broncos at 6-4. Now we'll have Indianapolis and Jacksonville on NFL Network on December the 17th, and Christmas night with San Diego at Tennessee. But it's a big night for the Denver Broncos after starting off 6-0, trying to keep San Diego within eyeshot.
Well, we said at the very top of the game that if they're going to get back into this thing, it's going to fall squarely on the shoulders of Kyle Orton. And certainly that was the case, but really, he rode the shoulders of his offensive line. They have played extremely well, which has allowed Orton and the running backs to play well.
Prater from 24. And he is good. He's 4 for 4 tonight. Well, the Denver defense has been dominant. Dumerville has a pair of sacks. Broncos lead it big. The Denver Broncos with a 26-6 lead with 5:02 to go in the ball game. Kyle Orton, 245 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Bob Papa, Matt Millen, happy Thanksgiving to all. Matt still digging into all that turkey that we had.
That is some good stuff with 5 minutes to go, though. The Giants are going to have to do a lot of digging into this Denver defense, something they haven't been able to do all night.
Dominic Hickson will take a knee. 5th touchback of the night for Prater. Well, earlier today, the Dallas Cowboys were at home against the Oakland Raiders. And Felix Jones, in his second year out of Arkansas, 46 yards for the touchdown. And how about the play of Miles Austin, the way he's come on for the Cowboys?
Yeah, and they need the big plays out of Miles Austin. And I see Roy Williams had himself a touchdown also, but Dallas with a big win there. And really, they're not quite where they want to be yet. They're still not firing on all cylinders, but they still have some big division games coming up.
The Giants will host the Cowboys a week from this Sunday. Mario Manningham to the 32. Run out of bounds by Champ Bailey after a gain of 12. Giants center Sean O'Hara slow to get up.
Sean O'Hara giving a little bit of limp in there, but those linemen they're going to keep staying in there. They don't come out, and that's the way it should be. Good toughness by Sean O'Hara, the 10-year guy out of Rutgers. Had a nice little conversation with him yesterday.
Made it to the NFL as a free agent. In fact, he was being recruited by offensive line coach Pat Flaherty at Wake Forest. When he found out what it would take to walk on, his dad said, well, why don't you try walking on at Rutgers with that tuition? Jacobs on a draw. Picks up a couple, that's it. Robert Ayers, the rookie out of Tennessee, on the tackles. We take a look at the NFC playoff picture. New Orleans undefeated. They'll host New England on Monday night. Minnesota at 9-1. Dallas now at 8-3 by virtue of their win. And right now the Giants about to fall further behind the wild card leaders.
And the team to watch right there, Arizona Cardinals are starting to play really good football.
2nd and 7. Manning to Smith, and it looks like he has, it's close to a first down at the 41, and they'll spot him just short.
If this New York Giant team is going to do anything, it has to start with both their offensive and defensive lines, because both of these units have not played well, and they've got to go back to the basics. They have to establish something. They haven't been able to establish anything here tonight.
3rd and 1, less than 1, and they throw it. Now, why wouldn't they just snap it quickly and have Manning keep it and get the first down?
That one baffles me. Just go ahead and get that big old back. If he's supposed to be what let him be what he is. Let him just go ahead and run over somebody for a half a yard. Certainly it's 5 minutes in, or under, 3.5 minutes or 3:40 to go here. But get the first down and move on. This Giant offense has been out of sync the whole night.
4th and 1 on the season. They're just 2 for 4 on 4th and 1. Manning will keep it and get the first down. With 3:40 to go. Kevin Gilbride told us yesterday, the offensive coordinator, it's just can't get in sync. It's one guy here, it's one play there. And the interesting thing for the Giants coming into the season, if you said what are the strengths of this team, you would say the defensive line and the offensive line.
Absolutely.
Smith to the 49. It's a gain of 7.
So if you're sitting at home, you're saying, well, now how can he throw now? Well, right now they're playing in zone. They're just letting everything in front of them. They're not going to give anything up deep. They've got to get 3 scores here in 3 minutes. I mean, this is a game right now that the Denver Broncos have won. They're just letting it bleed.
Manning nearly picked off by Goodman. Goodman's had his hand on 2 different pass opportunities tonight.
And he's played a good game, as has Champ Bailey, as has Brian Dawkins. I mean, this secondary right across the board has played very, very well. Andre Goodman, who was drafted in Detroit, went down to Miami, really come into his own here. That's as good a corner right now as you're going to find in this league. He plays man very well, not afraid to stick his nose in, very patient at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 3 with 2:50 to go. This time Manning's picked off. Goodman finally got his interception. 3rd Giant turnover.
Straight man-to-man, and I want to show you right at the start. This is patience for a corner. Don't commit. Make the receiver do it first. Watch him at the top. Watch this, and watch the patience. Just watch the receiver, and then break inside. He waited for the receiver to do his work. And once he declared it, he jumped it, and it was a pick.
Doesn't the rookie Nix have to do a better job of fighting to get inside of that?
Absolutely. But he's going against a veteran guy who knows how to take advantage of what a rookie doesn't understand.
So the Giants with 2 fumbles, and now Manning intercepted for the 10th time this season. No Sean Moreno in. Umenyiora misses the tackle. Tuck gets him after a loss of 1. So let's take a look at Denver on their way to a victory here tonight in their 7th win. They'll take on the Chiefs, division rival. Then they've got the Colts in Indy. Raiders have to travel to Philadelphia and then finish against Kansas City. You got to get to at least 10 in the AFC to give yourself a part of the conversation.
Exactly, and so they'll get the win tonight. They'll be 7-4. You think they have to win 3 of the next 5. Looking at their schedule, there are 3 wins there to get. This is a team who's still trying to figure out if they are the 6-0 team or this one that went on the 4-game skid. Right now, they look like they are at the beginning of the season. We'll be right back right after this.
New stay.
Larimer Square all dressed up for the holidays. 2 minutes to go. Broncos in front, 26-6. Second and 11 for the Broncos. Terrell Buckhalter hit by Blackburn and dropped at the 43-yard line. All right, Matt, it's your first year on our NFL Network crew. Everybody's been eating all day, so we're going to hand out the leftover award that you're going to bestow upon somebody from the winning team.
Well, first of all, I'd like to apologize to the guys been eating all through the game.
It's unbelievable.
However, you see this thing right here? I know it's partially eaten and it's not the nicest thing, but you know what? The offense and defensive line, this is what they would expect. They take like an old gypsy D-sang, just take a bite right out of that thing.
The offensive line gets the leg, the defensive line gets the thigh.
That's exactly what
they do. Then you throw a little stuffing in.
So here's no Sean Moreno gets this, and then we give this to Brian Dawkins. And so it's not, we know it's not a lot, but it's all that's left.
But that's the best part about Thanksgiving are the leftovers.
At the end of the day,
when you got a potato for Moreno, maybe.
That's right.
Well, you got to give Brandon Marshall.
Brandon, you get the string bean.
What are you going to give Brian Dawkins? Some stuffing? He stuffed the Giants tonight.
Yes, he did. Consistently all game long. That's if I don't finish the rest of this before the end of the game.
3rd and 5. Buckhalter hit by Rocky Bernard. No gain on the play, and the Giants will stop the clock with 1:50 to go in the ball game as they burn a timeout. And don't forget, coming up, it's the Kay Jewelers post-game show, complete Thanksgiving Day highlights, updated NFC playoff picture, and the 3rd annual Pudding Pie Award presentation. So those guys will give pie. Matt's got the leftovers, which is totally in your motif.
We really should do. We should go get some cellophane, a couple of slabs of bread, and throw this stuff in a sandwich and hand it to every one of those offensive and defensive linemen. They'd appreciate that.
They would. I roll up your sleeves kind of guys. But
really, all joking aside, they played an outstanding game tonight from snap to whistle.
Elvis Dumerville with 2 sacks and a forced fumble, and we got a shot of Tom Coughlin earlier, and you wonder where this Giants team is headed after a 5-0 start. They lost 4 in a row, let one get away against San Diego, needed overtime after they blew a 14-point lead late against Atlanta, and they still have 3 division games left, plus Carolina and Minnesota. What a play by David Bruton as he fields the punt and then throws it. We're going to have to give him at least something. The asparagus.
Absolutely.
Off that leftover tray.
That was a vegetable play if I ever saw one. That is an outstanding play by Bruton. That's a meat eater play, but all we got is asparagus left, so that's what we're going to give him. Look at this, over the shoulder, then gets rid of it, and keeps it in bounds. That's a fantastic play. He has played a fantastic game from the beginning all the way through on special teams.
And it really illustrates the point of how well Denver has played in all 3 facets. 5 touchbacks on kickoffs by Prater. He's made 4 field goals, and the Giants will start at their own 6 with 1:39 to go. Team Nix. Goodman runs him out of bounds. We talked about, this Giant team that's reeling. This will be the 5th loss in their last 6 games. The Cowboys at home, Eagles, who they lost to earlier this year in Philadelphia, then the Redskins on a Monday night, and then Carolina and Minnesota.
That is a tough schedule, but here's the good news. you still have some division games. In fact, the next 3 are division games. So they kind of control what they're going to do. And they know them. They're comfortable with them. They've beaten them before, and they're going to have to beat them now.
As Tom Coughlin told us yesterday, you want to be playing your good football going into December. They're not. Mario Manningham, who's made a couple of nifty catches, run out at the 22-yard line, and those faces kind of say it all for Justin Tuck and Osi Umenyiora.
And you know, if your words don't make a bit of difference, there's nothing you can say. You're not going to have any kind of meetings. You're not going to say you've got to do this, but it comes down to each individual player. They have to be able to take a proper assessment, and then only they can change what's going on in the field. That's it.
Team that won a Super Bowl 2 years ago and had the #1 seed last year. Manning, Keem Nicks, the rookie from North Carolina. Run out of bounds at the 37. It's a gain of 36.
That's that big play we were talking about, and that's what he has in him. And they need more of that. And people are sitting at home going, well, where was it if you're a Giant fan? Where was it the rest of the day? And again, the coverages are just a little bit different right now. They're trying to keep everything underneath. But Keem Nicks does have the big play in him.
Nicks 4 catches, 66 yards. From the Denver 37. Manning's going to take a shot through the hands of Manningham with Goodman on the coverage.
Run a simple 9 route down the left side. You're going to see Andre Goodman. The one thing Goodman can do is he sure can run. Manningham does too. A little jostling at the end.
And a catchable ball, Matt.
Should have made that catch. Should have made that catch.
So with 1:10 to go, Denver, a team that really struggled in the 4th quarter over the last 4 games coming into tonight, outscored 53-0. They've put that to rest at least for a week. Kevin Boss, the 26-yard line. It's a first down. Gain of 11.
Under a minute to play. So the Denver Broncos will come away with a victory here. As you look at Pat Bowlen, well, we just got to say thank you to Pat Bowlen. We had great hospitality here in Denver, and we had a nice opportunity to have a visit with him last night. Couldn't have been more gracious.
He attended our team dinner, gave a nice speech, welcomed us all to the Mile High City, and we appreciate his hospitality. Smith picks up 9 on the play.
Thanksgiving has been a day of tradition across this country, from pro football to high school football, and we just want to thank you for letting us be part of it today.
2nd and 1. Manningham hit by Hill. He'll be tackled at the 9. We also want to thank our crew for all the hard work they did bringing you the pictures here tonight. Josh McDaniels and the Denver Broncos have ended their 4-game losing streak with a 26-6 victory over the New York Giants. Stay tuned for the Kay Jewelers postgame show. Thanks to Palabolas Creative Services for their work on our show open. We'll see you next week in Toronto as the New York Jets take on the Buffalo Bills. So for Matt Millen and our entire crew at NFL Network, good night and happy Thanksgiving. It was all Broncos tonight. A 26-6 win over the New York Giants.